what is your favorite, when you think about Subway Series, favorite moment that or memory that comes to your mind?
Yeah, there's a lot, obviously, including that they played in a World Series against each other in 2000. But I would go back, if I were picking one time, I'd go back earlier in 2000 because it really did set up that World Series in some ways. On July 8th, 2000, because there had been a rain out earlier in the year when they were going to play, they ended up playing a home and home doubleheader on July 8th, 2000. They played at Shea Stadium with like a 1 o'clock start and a Yankee Stadium at 8. And that was, besides that, which was, we have what was called, that was a Saturday. We have a Bulldog edition of the paper. We still do. I think we're one of the last places, maybe the last that has it, which is we have an extra edition on Sunday. So we have to be in earlier on Saturday, like by like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And that game ended like 4. And to get to the other stadium, there was, the only time, I hope it's the only time I'm ever involved in it, they set up for reporters who were covering both games to get on one of the buses, like with the Mets and Yankees, to get a police escort to the other stadium. So I got a police escort in a bus to the other stadium, but I had to write while I was doing it because we had a 5 o'clock deadline. So there was that. But that was the day Dwight Gooden, first time back at Shea Stadium, he won the game for the Yankees in the afternoon. He pitched 5 innings, which was a great story. And then the story that wouldn't end ever was that night in the second inning, Clemens hits Piazza in the head. You know, Piazza had owned Clemens. He had like 3 homers and like in like 12 at bats against him and a bunch of hits. And Clemens couldn't beat the Mets as a Yankee early on there. And he was having some difficulties that season. And hits him in the head. And look, I think most on-field brawls are overdone and whatever. I do think that was a day where the Mets needed to come out of the dugout and fight. I do. That's their best player lying on the ground. Did Roger Clemens want to hit him in the head? No, but I think Roger Clemens was the kind of pitcher who was like, I'm throwing up and in, and what happens. And what happened is he gave a concussion to the best player on the other team. And you have to do more than yell from the dugout when that happens and complain about it afterwards. I think that was a moment they needed to come out, and there needed to be like an all-out, which would have made the day even more incredible. But the day was incredible when you consider you had Gooden in the morning, police in the afternoon, police escort to the other stadium, and then by the way, I didn't just get a police escort. Everyone got a police escort. And the Piazza Clemens, which again then carries into the World Series with the broken bat and Clemens hurling it, thinking it's a baseball somehow, or that was the cover story. Clemens was good at cover stories on a lot of issues, So that really. That one in particular, even more than anything that happened in the World Series. And I was there for Dave Malicki. I was there when a guy named Steve Beezer coaxed a scoring balk out of David Cohn, and the Yankees thought it was so little league for the other team to be trying to do that because they hated Bobby Valentine so much. But yeah, a lot of good ones over the years. Matt Franco and David Wright against Mariano Rivera. So yeah. Some really, really, and I'm looking forward to this one. The Mets are playing much better.
Yep.
The Yankees are not, and it's an interesting moment for them to meet in the season.